I'm like 99% sure this is one of the worst impressions I could have ever on any of my YouTube channels. Anyway, hi, my name's Ethan. I talk about like true crime and like gore stuff, you know, that kind of shit. So today, to start us off, I'm starting off with I think a very well-known case. I think a lot of people know it. It's either known as Daisy's Destruction or the Peter Scully case. I'm going to be referring to it as the Peter Scully case because I can't manage to get out the word Daisy's Destruction without butchering it absolutely horribly. So I'm just going to go ahead and stick with the Peter Scully case. So I'm going to start off with a kind of a introduction to Peter Scully's life. So I have my script here, so I'm going to be looking down into my lap and stuff like that a lot, just so I can get a good idea of what I'm talking about, so I don't sound like I'm just rambling on. So if you see me occasionally look down like this, that's the reason why. I was just going to have it like here, but I can't see shit, so I'm resulting to this. Alright. So Peter Scully's main goal in life was to continue making snuff films, and unfortunately so, this monster managed to keep that goal until he was caught. I don't have the exact year that he was caught. I'm still doing a lot of research into this case, and I probably will have a part 2 to this case. And I hope I can get everything fit into 2 parts, because I don't want to make this video any more than 2 parts, you know. So this horrible monster did pedophilic snuff films. If you don't know what a snuff film is, it's basically where it's a film where illegal things take place, like rape, murder, abuse, torture, and most of these films will be found on the dark web. So, having said that, snuff films are not the easiest to come by, and if you do happen to come by one, don't watch it. And don't be like one of those people that are like, oh my god, I'm so quirky. I watched a freaking snuff film of a child being raped and murdered and then posted on TikTok and be like, oh my god, look at what I watched! I hate TikTok. I don't own it. I hate it. Anyway. Peter Scully was born in, I'm gonna butcher this and I'm so sorry to any Australians out there, Melbourne, Australia on January 1963. Peter is an Australian pedophile, serial killer, rapist, and snuff filmer, and a child sex offender who owned No Limits Fun, which is a child pornography site on the dark web. And it is, like I said, it's a child pornography site, so it's full of child porn. Like to the brim, man. It's like literally to here. It probably has more child pornography than the Pornhub has porn on it. Anyway, it's nasty. Like a man, like well, I don't know, he's like 60 something, but a 63-year-old man is creating stuff like this to post on the dark web. Like, dude, come on. Go cook some cookies or something. Like, go with your wife, man. Get a wife. Okay, this monster, I can't read my own handwriting. Oh, this monster was deemed Australia's worst pedophile, rightfully so. Prior to Peter's depraved child sex activities, Peter Scully lived in Melbourne, Australia. I already said this before, I'm sorry. In Melbourne, Australia, and was involved in scamming before fleeing to the Philippines. Some, which I'm assuming most sane people, because anybody who doesn't find this man a horrible, disgusting monster needs to get help immediately, argue he is the worst person in history. Anyway, I need to stop talking about his past life because okay, I don't care. Anyway, so we're gonna get into the more juicy details. So I'm going to say right now, right here, this is your warning. I'm only giving one warning. This is your only warning to click off the video now. click off the video if you cannot deal with child pornography, if you cannot deal with talking about child rape, if you cannot deal with talking about murder, rape, just rape in general, or anything that has to do with children. If you're not suitable for that kind of stuff, please click off the video now and go find a different video to watch. I'm sure I'll see you whenever my second video is uploaded. Or maybe not, because I think that's going to be a follow-up to the Peter Scully case. Anyway, in 2012, there was a video surfing around the main web, which is, instead of the dark web or like the deep web, and the dark web and the deep web are two completely different things. We have the deep web, which is things that quirky teenagers go on to say, oh my god, I'm so quirky, I watched dark web videos. Like, no, you watched the deep web videos. These are things you can find on Reddit, 4chan, all that kind of shit. Okay. Anyway, enough about that.
That's fast. You ever seen The Revenant?
And it definitely did not belong there. Somehow this disgusting video found its way off the dark web and made its way into chat rooms and social media apps, mainly in Europe. This film was a four-part film, and each part of this film was 10 to 15 minutes long each. That is a long ass time for just child pornography and rape and stuff like that. Like, that is such a long time for something like that to go on. Like, imagine the poor children, how they feel after that. Like, honestly, I'm gonna sound like a jerk saying this, but honestly, I feel like it was good that Peter killed those children after he was finished with what he did to them. Because imagine the pain and agony you would go through, being raped and tortured and beat for 15 to 10 minutes long. I mean, 10 to 15 minutes long. Like, that sounds painful.
That was just a hot mess of shit anyway.
The film in question was known as Daisy's Destruction. A lot of people had believed this film was an urban legend because of how unbelievable it was. I feel like most people would definitely want to believe that this film was an urban legend and not want to think that someone could be this absolutely disgusting to make something like this. I know I would. If I heard about this, I'd be like, there's no way that's real. No person would ever want to do that. Like, to children. Like, these are children, and this is like a 50 to 60-year-old man doing this kind of stuff. Now, I'm going to be talking about the details on this film. Now, I don't know a lot about it because I was barely, 2012, I probably wasn't even in my double digits yet. But, yeah, I was still in my single digits in 2012. I definitely did not own many apps and social medias back then. But I did have my first iPod then, and I was in love with that thing. I was on it all the time. You know, that's why I'm on my phone all the time too. Anyway, this was a 4-part film which had 3 adults in it, 2 women and 1 man, all torturing and raping 3 children. That is absolutely disgusting, might I add. That's, like, as revolting. Like, I want to puke right now. The ages of the children were 12, 11, and the worst of all, 18 months old. This is a baby. She can't even talk, probably. She can't walk. She can't even, like, have those kind of thoughts in her head. Okay? Like, that is disgusting. And I'm not saying that raping the 11 and 12-year-old child was not disgusting. That's equally as disgusting. But who would do that? Who would look at a child and go, hot? Like, if you have those kind of thoughts, seek help, like, right now. Okay. But this 18 months name was Daisy. From what little information I have right now, they raped this baby so bad that she can't even have children. Yes, she did manage to live that, and thank God for that. Like, I hope that she's doing okay right now. I hope that wherever she's at in life, that she is doing all right, and that she is able to live freely and maybe forget that this even happened to her as a child. But I'll get more into that later. But this wasn't the only thing Peter had made. There was also a snuff film where Peter put babies in a pillowcase after he had raped them and played with them as you would in a pillow fight. That's just a rumor, though. I definitely feel like the intentions that this man had were not like, I'm gonna make child pornography for other people to enjoy. I feel like he honestly enjoyed doing this to children. I feel like he got some sort of joy out of hurting these children and making them feel like they were nothing but toys to him. And I definitely feel like what he did was punishable by death.
Get all the McNut out. Okay.
From what I am aware, Peter Scully was sentenced to 20 to life in prison, and I believe he got put on death row. And from what I have heard, I'm not sure if this is true, but from what I have heard, Peter Scully died on death row, and this horrible monster is no longer alive. Peter Scully was able to do this for, I think, up to 2 years until he was before he was finally caught. And thank God that this man was caught. I normally am going to stay very biased on how I feel about these criminals, but this man does not deserve for me to be biased. This is a horrible, disgusting man who deserved to... Oh my God, I thought there was something on my bed. Who deserved everything that came to him. He deserved the torture that he got. I think he got beat up in prison too. Thank God for that, because this man, he is absolutely disgusting. Personally, my opinions is that if you feel any way towards a child and you are not a child, you don't deserve to live. Because this is like a petite, short body that with women, they haven't yet developed fully yet. And I can't seem to wrap my head around on why anybody would ever have any of these kind of emotions about children. I mean, they're children. Peter Scully, in my opinion, is one of the worst people to ever live. I feel like he shouldn't have been able to go on for so long about what he had done to these poor children. And I hope that Daisy is okay. I hope that she is able to live normally, and she is able to live a normal life and be able to forget about everything that happened to her. So that's enough for today's video. I'm going to try my best to get more information on everything together, and I'm going to definitely try my best to make a part 2 to this, because I want to educate you guys, and honestly, I enjoy making true crime stuff so much, and this is like my first video on here. So thank you so much if you watched this video, and I hope that you all have an amazing day, and bye.